In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some unpopular opinions with you. Well, I should say my unpopular opinions. We've all, got our own opinions and beliefs and takes on different things. And I feel like with making this video, I shouldn't even have to, put out a disclaimer because we're free to express our opinions, right? But anyways, disclaimer, these are my opinions and don't come for me any comments if you don't agree with them. But yeah. So guys, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm not going to be doing like a whole bunch of unpopular opinions. I just have 4 unpopular opinions which, have come up, I guess, a lot like recently. So I'm just going to like share those, right? So my first unpopular opinion is that swimming is a life skill. So, we live in an island, and I feel like for us in Trinidad, we don't really consider, a lot of us don't consider ourselves as living on an island because we are just, such on a very fast-paced lifestyle that at times we don't necessarily feel as if like we are on an island surrounded by ocean and yeah, like, living in the Caribbean, right? But we live on an island, and a lot of times, we'll hear when people like ask you, if you can swim, and you'll be like, no, it's like, what, like, how is that even possible? Like, you're living on an island or whatever, right? But for me, y'all, I feel like swimming is a life skill. Like, it shouldn't be something that you just learn or know how to do because you live on an island. But this is literally something I feel like, could save your life. I mean, not just, if you're in the waters or whatever. But I feel like it's a good skill that everyone, not just people who live on an island, but everyone should know how to do. And I feel like this is something that needs to be incorporated into the school life, and even just, taking it personal and like, a part of like your house, something that you do to like, train your children. Like, it's not just a sport, it's not just something that you should know how to do because you live on an island, but it is a life skill. And yeah, like, we need to know how to swim, y'all. Like, I feel like a lot of us have like past fears because of like bad experiences, and if we had developed this skill at a young age, like, we wouldn't have so much fear as like an adult or maybe as like an older teen or whatever. So yeah, I just feel like this is a life skill, and it's not just something that you should know because you live on an island. So my second unpopular opinion is that, and I have my list here, is that learning a second language in school should be compulsory. And when I say this, I mean that I know in secondary school, like, you have to do either like Spanish and or French, like it's compulsory, like from form 1 to 3, and then if you choose to study it for form 4, 5 or 6, that's up to your choice, right? But y'all, learning a second language should be something that starts from the tender age of kindergarten. And I feel like this should be something that is compulsory in all levels of education. Because hear me out, right? One, we live in a region where all of the islands don't speak English, right? So we have French speaking islands, we have Spanish speaking islands, right? We even lived, a country that, or a continent, I should say, being South America, that speaks a lot of Spanish in most of those islands, Spanish or Portuguese. And I feel like this should be something that is not optional as a child. I feel like we need, as English speaking countries, we need to have some sort of second language that is taught from a tender age. When it says you go to like a French speaking island or even Spanish, they know how to speak English. They learn English in school. It's not like optional. Like a lot of them can have a conversation with you in English. And when it's the flip side with us, we, even though we may have, had some sort of experience with either like French or English in school, a lot of the times we cannot speak the language. We cannot have like a simple conversation with these people. And I feel like there could be so much opportunity for us, not just in English speaking countries, but in other countries who speak, whether it's French or English or whatever the language is. There could be so much opportunity for us if it is we actually learn these language from in school and from an early age. So y'all, I just feel like this is something that the government needs to get serious about and really incorporating a second language into our schools, because this can be so beneficial to you as an individual. It can create so many opportunities. Like there's just so many benefits to it. Okay, so my third unpopular opinion, and this is going to ruffle some feathers, but this is something that I constantly experience, and I'm not even gonna lie, it honestly annoys me every time people make comments like this, right? So my third unpopular opinion is that, and this is more for my trainees, because, well, I shouldn't even say more for my trainees, because I have experience, people outside of Trinidad making these statements. But yeah. Anyways, so my unpopular opinion is that not every mixed person comes from a background where their parents is of East Indian and African descent. I said it. Okay, y'all. I don't know. For some reason in Trinidad, every time someone sees someone who is mixed, every time they see someone who has curly hair or is in between, for them, I should say, quote unquote, in between for them, East Indian and African, anything that is between that range, somehow they automatically assume that one of your parents is of East Indian descent and the other is of African. Don't you all know that other ethnicities can make mixed people? Like, there is Portuguese, Asian, Caucasian. All of these things mixed with another race can make someone who's mixed. So please stop assuming that every time you see someone who has curly hair, that's, either of their parents is of East Indian and of African descent. Like, to me, it just shows the ignorance in our society. And I mean, yes, we know that I guess the two major ethnicities in Trinidad would be East Indian and African. So there may be, quote unquote, and I'm saying quote unquote, most of the mixed races or mixed persons may come from those two backgrounds. But don't just assume that everyone has an East Indian parent and an African parent because your hair is curly. Okay? But anyways, yeah, like, could we just stop assuming that, everyone who's mixed or has curly hair, one of their parents is African and the other is East Indian? Like, it is not accurate. It really isn't. And it is very annoying as someone who is mixed. Alright, so my final unpopular opinion is that there is no such thing as Trini time. If you like to be late, you like to be late. Don't say, oh, Trini time is anytime and whatever. Like, no. It is disrespectful, one, when someone is always late or they don't respect other people's time. Yeah, don't blame it on some stupid saying that we like to say as Trinis. Like, if you're not a punctual person, then just say so, right? Yeah, there's no such thing as Trini time. It's either you are late, you are punctual, you are punctual on time, or you are late, right? And I feel like there are some people who is like they just don't care like what time they reach. They are always late for everything, and then they like to blame it on like the culture and these different things. Like, no, you are a late person. So yeah, alright guys, so that was just like my 4 unpopular opinion. And if you share any sentiments with any of these unpopular opinion, leave me a comment below. If not, you can still leave me a comment. So thank you for watching today's videos. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos here every Friday 4 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, and every first and third Wednesday 4 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time as well. So look out for my next video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.